Hey guys, welcome back to another After Effects tutorial. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of not a very in-depth look at the masking tool in After Effects CS6. The masking tool in CS6 is not much different than the masking tool in CS5 or 5.5, but we're going to take a look at it anyways. All of these tips and tricks should apply to CS5 as well, but anyways, without further ado, here's the masking tool. It's up on the top pane. Shortcut is G. So if we go to the masking tool, we can see that we have a subject right here that, let's say we want to cut him out. We want to cut out all the background around him and we want to just have him. Alright, so we're going to click around our subject just as many times, be as accurate as inaccurate as you want. We're just going to do a quick mask around this guy right here. Okay. Alright, so I think that serves our purpose right, so we could just do a quick little job right here. So as you can see, let me go back here. Once you're done pretty much masking everywhere around, you want to click on the first point that you made. It looks a little bit different than all the other points, but this is the first point that we made. You can see that a circle pops up next to the pen tool icon cursor. And so we're going to click right here, and that's going to complete our mask. So that's our mask. So let's say if you weren't too accurate or you don't like the way it looks, because sometimes if we click away from the mask real quick, we could see that the line is a bit jagged and a bit sharp. And let's say we don't want that, so we're going to select this mask real quick. Going to drop down the menu. I'm going to bring up the mask feather real quick, just a tad, not much, just a tad like that. And as you can see, that softens up the edges a good bit. That could be useful if you're doing rotoscoping, which I'll explain later on, and you're not masking out extremely accurately. But as you can see, this mask is, right here, is pretty accurate. So you could see the uses that we can have for this. But let's say this is just one frame. Let's say we wanted to mask out a whole series of frames, and so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to click on the mask path. We're going to click on the stopwatch. That's going to enable keyframes, and by default After Effects will place a new keyframe every time you change an aspect of whatever property you're manipulating. So if you have changed that preset, keep that in mind, that every time you change this, you're going to want to add a new keyframe right here. And so what this is going to do is this is going to evolve the mask over time. So like page down is our next frame shortcut. So we're going to hit that. You can see it didn't move too much. Let's go a few more. So you can see in the timeline we already have one keyframe where our mask was originally created. And let's say we want to change the masks that evolve. So we're going to click away so that dots are nice and small, so that way we can manipulate each point individually. So we're just gonna do a quick little thing around his arm here. As you can see down the timeline, it's added another keyframe automatically because we have changed the parameters of this mask. So let's just do a quickie job right now. So if we were to play this back, that probably wouldn't be too good because we haven't manipulated the whole entire mask area, but it serves the purpose for this tutorial. If we go back a few frames, you can see that the mask moves between those keyframes. So like, this is the first keyframe, this is the position that it's in, and it evolves over the course of however many frames until the next keyframe. And as you can see, we're at the last keyframe. If we go any more, then the mask will simply not move at all. What we're doing right here is called rotoscoping. That's going frame by frame and changing the mask path to fit around a subject. This is what a lot of professional guys do in the movies and the movie industry, and they get a lot of money from doing this just because it requires so much patience, and it's just not fun to do, to sit down and do this for like hours on end if you're doing this professionally. So basically what this is basically it's a manual green screen. So like you don't have you know how a green screen will cut out the subject automatically. This is like the manual version of that, so definitely not fun to do this sitting down for hours and hours, but it is definitely a vital tool that you need to learn for if you're going to be doing any serious work in After Effects. As you can see, we got various parameters. We can change the feather of the mask. We can evolve it over time if you wanted to. For this, it doesn't really make sense to. Let's say we want to make it feather out a whole bunch, and you can see that it's going to change over time between those two keyframes. Opacity, same deal. Everything that's inside the mask will lose opacity. Everything outside the mask will, be dark. Mask expansion. If like something's shrinking and you don't have to change the mask path, you can simply expand the mask like so. As you can see, just expands the selection. Let's see, what else? Everything that you put behind this mask will, let's say we want to put another clip. We're going to navigate to our project file that I was working on. Let's say, for the fun of it, let's just use this clean plate footage. We're going to drag this into the project folder, drag it into the timeline underneath the clip, and you can see that, although it doesn't make sense here in this clip, you can see that he is superimposed onto that clip. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I do believe that is it, but I also think that I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting? Oh dear. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Well, that concludes the first tutorial I've done. I hope there are many to come, we'll see. But until next time, see you later guys.